Hey, it's Ash from Being Swenglish, and I was just heading back from the town, driving along in my car within the city that we live in, and there was I could see an old lady on a bike just coming down a little turn road up to the main road where I was driving, and all of a sudden it's very windy at the moment, and the wind picked up just as she was about to stop and put her foot down, getting ready to turn onto the main road. And it must have been a big gust or something, but she just fell straight over from her bike onto the floor and landed heavily. She probably is about 75 years old or so, and she was of quite big build, so she landed really heavily. And I was the only one to see it, and I stopped immediately in my car and I pulled over and checked if she was okay. But this is when the big challenge struck me, that in England, I'm a very active person. I'm not passive. I can't just watch something happen and think, it's someone else's problem. If I see something, I have to stop and I have to do or say something. And of course, I'm English. She was Swedish and a bit older. And Swedes are great with their English. But when you've just fallen off and really hurt yourself, the last thing you really want to be doing is speaking in a different language. And I just felt terrible because I wanted to ask her, can you wiggle your toes? Can you wiggle your fingers to make sure that her extremities were, still intact so she could feel things and it wasn't, major problems. Also, where was the pain? Was it in her stomach or her chest or her side? Because the next thing I was thinking, well, maybe she's broken her hip or she's broken a rib, because whenever she tried to talk, she was also, really in pain. And then her mobile phone rang and I offered to answer it for her, but I couldn't speak any Swedish to the people on the phone. And it just really got me thinking, I need to improve my Swedish, because in a scenario like that, you just feel utterly helpless. I called other people over and I gave her mobile phone to this Swedish lady who luckily arrived and was great. And, she spoke to her, but other than that, and sort of guiding the others, really saying, has anybody got any sheets to put on her, because we can't lift her up. They were about to pick her up, but she could have hurt her back or she could have broken a hip. So I said, no, let's not pick her up. Let's not move her until the ambulance arrives. I couldn't call the emergency services on my mobile phone. It's normally, well, you need a Swedish phone. If you dial 999 over here, you're actually on an English phone. You'll get the English police. So you do need to make sure you store the international number for the emergency police wherever you are in Sweden. And yeah, then they arrived, and obviously their English was really good, so I could tell them what happened, how had she fallen. But it just makes you think when stuff happens here, and it's not the first time we've been there at the scene of a horrible injury. There was a lady that fell through a glass window about 2 years ago here in the same city, just as we were walking past. God, it seems like we're bad luck, doesn't it? But, again, I couldn't really help her because she was in serious pain. And, it's the second time it's happened now where I've so wanted to be there to do more. And my language limited me, really, because when people are in pain and shock, they don't want to be translating and speaking English. So lesson be learnt, guys. If you're living in Sweden out there and you have done for some time, and your Swedish is not even started yet, then do it, because you never know when you might need to be able to speak Swedish. It could be the case that you can really, really help someone in that case. And I know that, when I've got more time coming up in the new year, I am definitely making a regular effort to go to SFE and get this done, because I just, I wanted to be able to do a lot more. I just hope that lady has a good recovery. The ambulance arrived not massively quickly, but it did arrive, and they lifted her up and put her in, and she was in a lot of pain, but I just hope she's all right in time for Christmas and makes a full recovery. Oh, anyway, be safe, guys, and have a good week. Bye-bye.